Hello, good afternoon everyone and welcome to our Saturday edition na naman ng ating free webinar. I am seeing a lot of people in our comment section right now. So hopefully kayo po ay nasa magandang kalagayan ngayon. Medyo makulimlim kanina dito sa aking pinanggagalingan. Good afternoon po sa lahat ng mga nasa comment section natin. So yung mga kararating pa lang po, lagay niyo po kung saan po kayo nanonood right now. I'm saying good afternoon to Mitch Gumera. Si Miss Rose Pukol, good afternoon. Hello, isa sa mga mga usual natin dito, si Miss Rose Pukol. Esther Marie Guerrero is also one of our regulars here. Good afternoon, Esther Marie. Pagpasensyaan niyo na po kung medyo nawawala-wala ang boses ko. Medyo hindi maganda ang aking pakiramdam right now. Kaya ang aking energy level ay hindi sing taas ng tulad ng dati. Pero mataas pa rin naman. Okay? Medyo magulo ko, no? Good afternoon po kay Miss Arlene Aguilar, good afternoon. Genevieve Asman, good afternoon. Jed De La Cruz, good afternoon po. Blessed Saturday din po, Miss Tina Palangka, watching from all the way from Cavite Province. Good afternoon din po kay Miss Ellen Gonzalez, watching from Batangas City. Good afternoon po. Hi, Sharon. Si Sharon actually just came from our webinar kanina. Isa rin sa mga dahilan kung bakit medyo nawawala na yung boses ko is we have just finished day 1 of HR Bootcamp Masterclass Batch 1. Ayan. And Sharon is actually there earlier. Hopefully may natutunan naman sila dun sa mga naging discussions namin kanina. Okay? And good afternoon also to Rada Sigwa. John Patrick Icaro, good afternoon po. Kate Armeles, watching from Parañaque, good afternoon. Jane Radado, good afternoon din po. Miss Jeneline Ramos, good afternoon. Magpapahinga din ako, Sharon. Hopefully tomorrow makapagpahinga. Miss Emily Manaloto, good afternoon from Carsigma District Hospital. Hi, good afternoon po. Ingat po kayo dyan. Miss Nechi Concepcion, good afternoon, watching from Manila. I have someone watching from Makati. Naku po, hindi ko po nakuha yung pangalan. I think he or she is watching from Philippines HR Group. If you're watching from Philippines HR Group or from the Society for the Advancement of HR, sa taas po may makikita po kayong link dyan, streamyard.com/Facebook. Pakiclick lang po yan para makita ko po yung pangalan nyo po at ma-acknowledge ko po kayo properly. Miss Karen Tao po, watching from Manila, good afternoon. May Ontua, isa rin po sa mga regulars natin. Good afternoon from Lucena City. Good afternoon, Miss Maricel Ayag. Liberty Antoinette, good afternoon po. CJ Ablay is also watching from Parañaque. Ayan, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Doon sa mga gusto pa pong mag-join, wag pong mamroblema. Punta lang po kayo doon sa ating Facebook page. Mapapanood niyo po doon. Pwede po kayong mag-comment doon ng mga questions niyo po. Ihanda niyo po ang question niyo dahil napakaganda po ng topic natin this afternoon. We would be talking about remodeling HR. Para po ma-meet natin ang demands ng new normal. Ayan, gasgas na si new normal. Okay. So ayan po, ano po ba ang mga kailangan nating malaman bago po tayo mag-start sa ating session? Syempre po sa mga bago po at first time pong manood ng ating free webinar every Saturday, introduce ko lang po sa inyo si Uprosh. Uprosh is an HR solutions and services provider. We do manage recruitment service. We also do manage payroll service. We do in-house and public workshops, seminars, webinars. Webinars po ngayon para i-ensure po natin na maingatan din naman po ang ating mga team members dito sa Uprosh against COVID. Good afternoon po, Miss Marian Loveres. Good afternoon sa mga bago pong dating. Ayan po, we also do HR consultancy. We also provide HR toolkits and we have just recently launched our salary survey. So kung kayo po ay interested po to be part of our 2020 salary survey, just let us know po and we will give you the details on how to be part of it. Okay po? And then, of course, Cagayan still needs our help. So pag may mga gusto pong mag-donate, donate lang po kayo. We accept monetary donations and we also accept in-kind donations. We will be turning this over to the Office of the Vice President po. Okay po? So, ayan po. And, okay, good afternoon po sa mga bagong dating. Good afternoon kay Leonora Dumagat, Joanne Chan, Marian Luveres, Princess, Zaira Segui. I hope hindi ko po na-murder ang iyong last name. Good afternoon po from Gumaca, Quezon. Good afternoon po sa inyo. Okay? And of course, iniimbitahan po namin kayo. We have the basics of payroll coming up this December 18. If you're interested to learn more about the basics of payroll, how to process payroll, kunin lang po ang cellphone, ilabas po ang cellphone, iscan lang po ang QR code right now para kayo po ay makakuha ng details, training outline, payment channels, and how to reserve your slot. Ayan po. So yung mga naka-attend po ng HR bootcamp, kung mahal na mahal niyo po si Peter at gusto niyo pong makita si Peter ulit, tara na. Join po kayo ng Basics of Payroll Processing. Isa-isahin po natin kung paano mag-compute ng holiday pay, special non-working day, holiday pay on a special non-working day, holiday premium pala on a special non-working day, at paano po i-determine ang daily paid, monthly rate, daily rate. Yan po ang ating pagtutuunan ng pansin sa Basics of Payroll po. At paano nga ba natin dapat i-handle ang maternity benefits, SSS sickness benefits, paternity leave, allocated leaves, lahat po yan ay i-discuss sa Basics of Payroll Processing. Ayan po. Kung ang preference nyo naman po is to learn how you can manage your team's performance or your talent's performance. Okay, actually talent po, hindi po team's performance. We would like to invite you December 21, 2020 po. Talent management po ang magiging topic po natin. So if you're interested po, scan nyo lang po yung QR code natin para kayo po ay maka-attend sa December 21 po. Okay po. Mamaya po meron actually tayong promo for this one. So, intay-intay lang po kayo, may i-announce po kami about that. Ayan po. And if you have missed out any of our HR Bites episode or any of our free webinars, pwede po kayong pumunta sa ating YouTube channel at para po mapanood nyo po yung mga past episodes po natin. Pwede rin po kayong mag-comment doon. Pag nag-comment po kayo doon, sasagutin po natin yan. So, kung meron po mga parts ng video na may questions po kayo, lagay nyo lang po din yung comment nyo and we'll answer that. Okay? And we have just recently, naaliw ako kasi nakikita ko sa background yung ating speaker sumasayaw. So, natatawa ako. Okay. sorry. Hindi ko kinaya. Okay po. We have just also recently launched our training on demand service po. Ano po itong training on demand service pag kayo po ay shy type at mas gusto niyo po ang talagang hands-on approach at one-on-one po na coaching and mentoring, actually coaching on the different topics like Excel for the HR professional, basics of payroll processing, and understanding mandatory benefits, we can do that for you. So, hindi lang po siya basta self-paced kasi minsan ang mga self-paced training po, syempre wala na po masyadong mentoring doon at kung may questions man kayo for the facilitator, merong delay ng pagsagot sa inyong mga concerns. With our training on demand, live po ito pero kayo po ang magsiset ng schedule nyo. Kailan nyo gustong mangyari, paano ang breakdown po, pwede pong 1 hour per day, 2 hours per day, or 1 whole day po para po i-discuss natin yung iba't ibang mga concerns nyo when it comes to payroll processing or when it comes to mandatory benefits or simply to learn about the shortcuts or how to advance your skills when it comes to MS Excel. Ayan po. Ayan. Nasa comment section din po sa aming page. If you're watching from our page right now, one of our team members has indicated there where you can find our events. Nandiyan po lahat ng events namin covering up to the early or the first few weeks of January po. So if you're interested, punta lang po dyan para malaman nyo kung ano-ano po yung mga available po nating webinars para kayo po ay maka-attend. Ayan po. Okay, good afternoon po do sa mga kararating lang po sa ating comment section right now. If you would like to be a sponsor or would like to sponsor any of our webinars, just let us know po and we will give you the details on how you can be part of our sponsors. So yung sponsors po natin, ito po yung mga pinapakita nating videos at usually nakasama po na natatag dun sa ating mga events whenever we market it. Ayan po. Okay. Ay, naku na. Napa-advance ako. Okay, so this afternoon po ang ating po magiging topic like what I I've mentioned is HR, remodeling HR, which is very timely po kasi nga tulad nga ng sabi ko kanina, we have just come off the HR master class, HR bootcamp master class, wherein we discuss about transforming traditional HR into a strategic one. So medyo duguan po kanina dahil napaka-cerebral po ng topic natin. Ayan. So this afternoon po, the person that I am going to have has been an HR practitioner for quite some time. Okay? Lahat na po ata ng letters nakuha niya. CPHR, CHRP, and Certified Google for Education Certified Trainer. He is a cum laude with a Master's in Business Administration from the Colegio de San Juan de Letran. He is also a BS Psychology graduate from UST. He is a certified and authorized Google Apps trainer here in the Philippines. Like what I've mentioned, he's a certified human resource professional and a chartered professional in human resources. He has been a practitioner or consultant specializing in HR in areas such as creation and implementation of practices when it comes to training and development, leadership formation, employee engagement, comp and ben, employee welfare, and organization development. He has had years of exposure when it comes to different companies in the country. His 8-year experience in human resources provided him the opportunity to work with a wide range of professionals from top management, employees, and even to people from the academe as well as business owners. Aside from his roles in the corporate world, he also commits himself in developing today's workforce through various seminars and interventions for different organizations and academic institutions. He has expanded his knowledge in the field of human resource and business development, making him an adequate resource person for the changing market, especially with the current situation, very unique situation that we have right now. He's known for his dynamic presentation, delivery, and ability to connect with people that flexes various learning styles. He believes that development should never stop, which is true, and success is a lifelong process, another true. He humbly commits in providing quality programs for everyone. Ayan. So, I hope you are as excited as I am. So let me call on to our screen, sabihin ko sana to our stage, to our screen, our speaker for today, none other than Sir Jean Ilagan. Sir Jean, kumusta po?
Hi, Rona. So,
Hello.
sumasayaw ako ah.
Naaliw ako kanina na nakaagaw pansin siya.
Ay, sorry naman. So, good afternoon, Rona, and good afternoon to everyone here. Hello, kaway-kaway naman dyan and say hello naman sa bawat isa. So, ready ba? So, sabi nga ni Rona kanina, ang daming changes. Tama, Rona?
Correct.
Even your voice, nag-change na siya. So, napasa
Nagbibinata
na
po ako
talaga.
ngayon.
Ay, Okay, so, for this afternoon, sabi nga natin, it's about remodeling HR. So, technically, remodeling HR was a topic long ago. Matagal na siyang
Mm.
pinupush. Pero ngayon lang siya na-highlight because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Para naman yun
agree.
eh. In the modern society, sabi nga nila eh, yung jeepney phase out, it was a long process ng ginagawa pero na-highlight lang ngayon. Yung
Oo.
digital marketing, it's long ago available. You have your Friendster long ago, di ba? You have your Multiply. So lahat yan
Oo.
nandun na pero na-highlight lang siya today.
Uy, wag mong banggitin, malalaman nila kung ilang taon tayo.
Hindi, yung nabasa ko lang siya eh. Nabasa ko lang siya over my research last night.
Okay. So sige po, Sir Jean, I'll leave the screen stage for you. Ayan po,
Yeah.
i-join ko lang po ang iyong presentation and alis na po ako.
Okay, sige, see you later, Rona. So good afternoon everyone. So I'll be joining you this afternoon sa program natin ngayon, Remodeling HR. Paano ka nga ba magiging employer of choice? Lalo na this time of pandemic, lalo na this time na kung saan lahat nagsa-struggle. So that right now, so sabi nga kanina ni Rona, it's about being strategic. However, strategic may be a big word, maybe a lifelong process. But in today's program, we will make your strategy more efficient in a simpler way. So kung ready ka na, can I see some comments saying na I'm ready for this afternoon's program? So if you're ready, allow me to start first by having a quote. According kay OREN Harari, sabi niya the electric light did not come from continuous improvement of candles. True enough, even if you evolve candles from the smallest to the biggest one, even if evolve it to a scented or a candle which has a longer life, it will not be the same as an electric light. Basically, because electric light is different from a candle. Iba yung pinagdadaanan niyang process. Hindi fire ang nagbibigay ng buhay sa electric light, hindi electricity. Similar with what happening right now in our society, even if you improve what you are doing right now, it may not generate a better result than what you are expecting. Similar with HR. Diba? In doing your HR, even if you master, diba? Even if you master your payroll system, even if you master your training programs, even if you master your recruitment and development, people change. Iba-iba ang hinahanap ng mga tao right now. Lalo na with this pandemic, naging online siya. Lalo na with this situation, mas naging convenience ang habol ng mga tao. Who doesn't want to just click add to cart? And sino bang ayaw na ang babayad na lang ay credit card? Sino bang gustong pumunta sa market, pipila ka? Sinong gusto pumunta sa grocery right now na makikigulo ka with the Christmas sale wherein nandyan naman yung mga online sellers natin. Naka-sale pa today. Oy, 12-12 ngayon, nakapag-add to cart ka na ba? So kung hindi pa, pwedeng mamaya 7 p.m. after ng program natin. So for today, I'll be joining you. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, sabi nga ni Rona, I'm Jean Ilaga, so you can call me Jean. And some of you here are familiar dun sa mga comments pa lang, nakikita ko may mga familiar people akong na-meet na before. How are you? And I'll be joining you this afternoon with this program, Remodeling HR. So nga, ma-question ko nga sa comment natin, can I see kung gaano na ba kayo katagal sa HR? Anyone? Sige nga, can I see some comments kung gaano katagal na kayo sa HR? Comment section. Nakikita ba natin? May mga 10 years dyan for sure. May mga 20 years. Ma'am Rona naman. 20 years. Okay. 10 years, may mga 6, merong mga less than 5, 4 years, 2 years. Even if you add up those years, 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4, kahit pagsamasamahin natin yung mga years of experience natin, this time will come, lalo na ngayon, 2021 is coming in. Ang question ko sa inyo, what will be something new sa inyong mga department as HR? Are you ready for the change? Are you ready to go digital? Are you even ready to go virtual? Or ready na ba kayong mag-payroll sa loob ng bahay na hindi nyo na kailangan ng physical office? So those changes will happen anytime soon. Kaya ang ating technique, dapat makasabay ka with the changing time. So with this program, the highlight would revolve with the evolution of HR. So going back, nakikita ko dito mga 6, 7 years, 8 years. Are you familiar kung kailan nag-start ang HR? Anyone? Nag-start ba ang HR 15 years ago? Nag-start ba ang HR 30 years ago? So any idea, kailan kaya nag-start ang HR? HR started actually mga around 100 years ago, 'di ba? HR started 100 years ago, pero nagkaroon lang siya ng formal na outline ng mga bandang 1920s. So nung mga 1920s, si HR hindi siya kilala bilang HR. Kilala siya bilang labor manager. So yung labor manager na yan, ang focus niya is makapag-supply ng tao doon sa mga factory. Ano ba yung mga factories before? Nandun yung mga production ng damit, nandun yung production ng mga pagkain, nandun yung production ng mga sasakyan. Kasi nag-grow na yung industry ng mga bawat countries. Kaya ang focus nila is to ensure na laging may tao dun sa kanilang mga department. So kaya ang focus nila before is about recruitment. Ayaw din nila ng absences. Kaya pag absent ka madalas, dismissal. After dismissal, syempre dahil industrial times na to, nagkakaroon ng bonuses. It's because yung mga yung mga companies before, meron na silang liberty to provide more for their employees. From 1930, doon na nag-uprise yung economy. Why? Because na-realize ng mga employees nun, hindi pwedeng puro sahod lang, hindi pwedeng puro pera lang, nagbabago yung panahon. Kaya yung development ng mga benefits na yun, doon pumasok yung mga medicine, doon pumasok yung mga pabigas, doon pumasok yung mga shuttle services nila. Doon din nagkakaroon ng mga health card. Doon nagkaroon ng changes because the demands of the employees changed from a simple salary to a better benefit. Right now, ang dami nating benefits na re-receive. Pero kung mapapansin ninyo, nagbabago na. Ngayon, hinahanap ng mga tao, Wi-Fi na. Unlike before, ang habol ng tao, communication allowance. Hinahanap lang nila is more on transportation allowance. But right now, ang habol nila is Wi-Fi, being digital, advanced na cellphone. So as time goes by, nagbabago rin siya. That's why nung pagdating naman ng year 1940s, panahon ng Second World War. Nung Second World War, so nagkakaroon ng transition from a peaceful economy to a wild economy because of the war. So that's why they manage their people by having a good welfare. Diba? So when we say welfare that time, it's not just being giving NPEs, giving sanctions, but it's more on how they manage the discipline. That's why they provide also health and safety and training. Because that time, dahil marami ng industry in a span of 40 years, yung mga tao nagiging lower quality na sila. So yung mga na-hire nilang factory workers doesn't even know how to handle machines or hindi sila marunong mag-pack ng mga goods. Hindi rin sila marunong mag-handle ng mga commodities. So that's why what they're doing is they provided training programs for those employees. So to sum up the three, kita nyo nagkakaroon ng transition from recruitment to development of benefits until minamanage na yung discipline. Because also, these are the times na nagkakaroon na ng out of control si employer. Nangyayari is, yung mga tao, teka, alis ng alis kasi maganda yung benefits ng iba. Yung iba okay lang magpasaway because there's a new company out there waiting. So nagkakaroon siya ng mga hindrances si management. So that's why they integrated what they call personnel management that time. From 1970s, industrial na. Nagkakaroon na ng liberty or tapang yung mga employees natin that time. Kaya yung focus ng mga companies or ni HR before was about collective bargaining, implementing of policies, and also rewards, tsaka employee rights. So nagkakaroon na ng medyo nagiging rebel na ang mga tao by that time. Because they see that hindi lang ako pwede puro work. Kailangan ako din mismo self-rewarded, nakukuha ko yung rights ko as employee. So hindi pwede na susunod lang ako kay boss lagi. Hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng pag sinabi niyang pumasok ako from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., walang pay yun. Kailangan lahat yun nakukuha ko yung right for me. That's the 1970s. Kaya yung industrial relation that time was a bit chaotic. Lalo na may aftermath pa siya ng Second World War. So nagkakaroon sila ng mga, kumbaga, mga memories ng Second World War. Come 1990s, for sure may mga pinanganak na po dito ng mga 1990s. Karamihan sa atin, mga batang 90s, doon pa lang pumasok yung flexible work hours. Doon na nagkakaroon ng change because of what we call yung development ng mga societies and industries. Kaya yung mga employees that time, hindi na pwedeng sabay-sabay silang 8 a.m. papasok. Hindi na pwedeng sabay-sabay silang 5 p.m. uuwi. So nagkakaroon na ng transition yan. Temporary contracts are also hired because they see the demand is hindi naman every year pare-pareho. Diyan nagsimula yung mas maraming trabaho pag Christmas, mas konti ang trabaho pag summer, mas malaki ang trabaho sa resorts and mga tourist destinations pag summer breaks, and nagkakaroon din ng temporary contracts sa school because ang school, as we all know before, is just from June to March of the following year. So by April and May, nagtatanggal na ulit sila. And HRM was introduced. So dito pa lang nagpumapasok si human resource management because it was an integration of the 1920s until the 1990s. So sabi nila, it's important that we manage everything, not just recruitment, not just training and development, not just employee welfare and discipline. But the management was a holistic approach na kumpleto from recruitment hanggang training, hanggang salary, hanggang paglabas ni employee. So hindi lang pwede talaga na basta pagka-hire mo, farewell to you. Pagka-hire mo, promote ka lang. So hindi lang ganun yung industry natin by that time. Lalo pa nung pagpasok ng mga 2000. Kasi nung mga pagpasok ng 2000, nagiging digital na yung economy natin. So there's already an internet. There's e-commerce. Systems and collaboration with IT are introduced. And dito na pumasok si strategic HRM. So akalain mo yun, no? Si HRM pala, si strategic HRM pala ay na-start lang ng mga bandang 2000. So 20 years in the making until now nag-evolve pa rin. So I don't know, alam ba, maybe 50% of the industries right now are having their own payroll system. 50% of the companies right now sumasali pa rin ng job fair. 100% are they still doing face-to-face training? So with the integration right now of the 24/7 society, nagbabago na ang technique ng ating mga employers. By the time na 2000, nandiyan na rin pumasok si BPO. And as we all know, with BPO, ang industry nila is, nangyayari is 24/7. Iba yung shift sa morning, iba yung shift sa gabi. So that's why important that for them to create an ambience of preference, kailangan ayusin din natin, babaguhin din nila yung strategy nila when it comes to benefits, hiring, retaining employees, and even terminating employees. Iba-iba na yung technique. So, to sum up that, pumapasok na yung personnel management, which is a practice long ago, is just to be for short term. So yung mga changes ng economy right now, yung mga yung mga World War II, industrial relation, personnel management yan because they just address yung mga economic changes. And ang focus nila is more on the specialized professional roles. That's why doon nagkakaroon ng diversity before. If you would remember, if ang mga companies ay meron silang mga, let's say, expat, mararamdaman talaga ng employees na yung expat nandito, yung regular employees nandito, langit at lupa yung kanilang pagitan. Because there's a specialization, there's a defined and formal role. So if your role does not contribute that much to the organization, medyo na doon ka sa bandang baba. But if yung skill by that time, kung lawyer ka nung mga panahon ng mga 1980s, ang taas ng tingin sa'yo because it's a great need. Kailangan yon ng mga industries by that time. So kaya nagkakaroon ng hati between the two industries. Where nung pagpasok ni HR management, it's more on long term. Meaning long term, si employee na nandito sa loob, kailangan patagalin ko siya. So pag pinatagal ko siya, it's not just about your salary, but also giving them the opportunity to create or to make themselves better in terms of their professional roles. Kaya nga nung panahong HR management, nandyan na si training and development, nandyan na si career development, and as you would notice, development was the core because it's part of their strategy to retain. Because as we all know, ang hirap mag-hire. Ang hirap humanap ng right person. Ang hirap humanap ng professional talaga in this world. So, sino mag-a-adjust? Mag-a-adjust ba si employee? Of course, right now, 50-50. Kahit mag-adjust si employee, sino bang may need? Si employer. Sinong babalikan ni employer? HR. HR, hire ka daw. Kailangan na. Turnaround time, 15 days. Kasama ng orientation. Ikaw nang bahala sa medical. It's tough. That's why right now, strategic HR, ang focus natin is human capital. When we say capital, it's as similar as investment. So in investment, hindi po sa unang taon perfect na yan. It will take time for your employee to create or to be the best of who can be. Corporate culture plays a big role because kahit anong ganda ng ibinibigay mo sa employee mo, kahit gaano kalaki yung sweldo na iaabot mo, kung ayaw naman niya si boss, hindi niya feel yung culture ni company, aalis din po yan. That's why at the end of the day, strategy on value is important. And if you would ask yourselves, ano ba yung competitive advantage mo over other companies? Or is it about the total compensation? There's a lot of things that HR needs to rethink, especially right now, it's December. Come 2021, anong plano nyo? Will you stick to the regular programming as of 2019? Or are you changing it because of 2020? Or is it dahil reactive ako? Kasi nagpandemya talaga eh. So therefore, kailangan ko na talagang magbago? Or was it because there's a need in the organization? There are a lot of questions that we need to answer day by day. But right now, we will give you a short or simple tricks on how to create a better environment sa inyong organization. Let's start first with the employee journey. In the employee journey, it's a cycle wherein you start first with attract me, where it's a hiring, hanggang pumasok siya, get me started, which is your onboarding, payroll and benefits, your training program, your performance management, your employee programs, your rewards and recognition until retire. Question, does your employees retire? Or does your employees just leave? If I would ask you, gaano katagal kaya ang buhay ng employee ninyo sa loob ng company? Ano ang average years ng isang employee? Do they last 5 years? Do they last 10 years? Or meron na ba kayong first ever retiree na umabot ng 60 years? Or sometimes 20? It's tough to say because there are new organizations right now, and being in an organization means you need to adjust to each and every one of them. May mga problematic employees, may mga employees na madali pakiusapan, may mga employees na participative, may mga employees naman na pasaway na. So there are a lot of things that you need to consider. And guess what? It's changing. And it's the toughest role an HR would do. Because kung ano yung approach mo kay employee A would be different from employee B. Never sila magiging same. And being said that, now you need to create benefits, you need to create strategy, you need to create development for each and one of them for you to attain the employee journey and for you to attain the retirement that you are opting to have. Tough call, but it's not impossible. Let's take a look at Google in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah. As we all know, when you say Google, aba, kahit sino papangarapin mag-work dyan. It's not just because of the office, not just because of who they are, what they can do, but it's about the positive feedback that you would hear from those employees from within. Kumbaga, yun nga yung hinahanap nila na sana yung aking office ay similar with Google, na walang office chair, it's just a beanbag. There's a coffee unlimited. There are food, drinks, wine, beers available at the pantry. Sana ganun, di ba? Then also, nandyan din si SGV. Wow, look at SGV. When you say SGV, it's one of the top accounting firms here in the country. Lahat na lumalabas kay SGV, you know that kapag accountant ka at galing ka kay SGV, your salary multiplies by around twice or thrice. Lumalaki siya ganun because the respect that employers have with SGV is so high that sometimes they can't even afford SGV, former SGV employees. Or they invest too much kay former SGV employees because the training inside that firm is so intense that it makes you of quality right there and then after you receive the training and after they have served every client. Wow. Sama mo na dyan si smart telecommunications. Smart telecommunications is one of the top industries in the Philippines and just sa mga top 100 companies for sure. It is well managed by the MVP group. Na pag sinabing taga-smart ka, it rings a bell. Uy, smart! Mukhang okay sa work na yan. And just last week, I believe na benta nila yung isa nilang office of whopping billion. Nabenta nila sa isang construction company sa Makati. See? A building worth billions? Just imagine. So, ibig sabihin, ganun kaganda yung loob nun. Ganun ka-quality yung building na yon for them to sell it that high. And kung ikaw owner, 16 billion worth of infrastructure. So, saan mo nilipat yung mga employees mo? They are now located in the heart of Taguig. So, in Taguig, if you would go to their office, ang ganda ng office nila. And if you drive by EDSA, if you drive by the roads of the Philippines, you would see cars marked with their companies. That means that car was provided by the company to them to do maybe to do business. At least they may effort si company na bigyan ng transportation si employees para magawa nila yung task nila every day. So that's one good benefit. Vehicles. Next, wow, San Miguel office. San Miguel office is one of the highlights of Ortigas area. When you go to this office, when you are marked as a San Miguel employee, wala kang masasabing mali. Whether it be galing ka dun sa kanilang poultry, bimeg, whether galing ka dun sa kanilang mga food, where like your TJ hotdog, even dun sa mga kanilang mga drinks, kahit Hinebra pa yan or kahit San Miguel beer yan, sikat. Well, because it's one of the iconic brands here in the country that every people knows. Hindi yan papalya sa market. And everyone is trying to be inside that office because they are known to provide good benefits. Just early this morning, I was reading the news and yung kanilang head, remember the damage happened in Skyway. They gave 20 million worth of uh, danyos dun sa mga na-damage. They gave scholarship just to compensate dun sa mga na-aksidente. Given that, what more could they give dun sa mga employees naman nila? Given that every day there are a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges, there are a lot of opportunities, and there's a room for improvement or development, not just for the company itself, but also for the employees inside the company. That's why San Miguel has this credibility that if you lasted well dun sa kanilang organization, you would be paid well, you are given good benefits. Also, they have this certain culture of oneness despite the different brands. And at the end of the day, these brands, as you would notice, has this reputation. And it's called the employer branding. Isang sabi mo lang sa pangalan nila, you would be able to recall them. San Miguel, Smart, SGV, Google. Those brands, kahit hindi mo pa explain, top of mind choice yan ng lahat ng gustong magtrabaho. Given the chance, kahit ako, lilipat ako dyan. But also, hindi lang naman sila yung apat na companies. If you would look into your companies, ano ba ang reputation na meron sila? Or ano merong reputation, meron yung company mo, that would make you an employer of choice. Pag sinabi ba yung brand mo or yung organization mo, would they be even able to recognize you, give good feedback, or even promote the brand itself? Tough question. But tough question to do. Tough question to ask. And as you all know, when we say employer branding, it is also how an employee engage himself inside the company. Pag tinignan ko ba yung performance evaluation ng lahat ng inyong employees, lahat ba sila okay? Lahat ba sila participative? Pagdating ba ng Christmas party, sasayaw ba lahat yung mga yan? Pagdating ba ng anniversary, lahat ba sila makikigulo? Or meron kang mga employees na, huh, for the last couple of years, basta mag-work lang ako. Sige na, bahala na from there. And according to Talent Lift rather, 75% of your candidates does research. Question, do you research? And pag ni-research nyo ba, what would people say about your companies? And 83% of them say that employer brand plays a significant role. So therefore, if the employer brand plays a significant role and 75% of them researches about your company, therefore, are you in good standing? Tough question, right? Yung mga nag-exit ba sa inyo had a good time inside the company? And 69% of the candidates would not accept a job in a firm with a bad reputation. Oh my God. So pag narinig niyo yung brand, would they even dare to submit a resume? Would they even dare click that apply button? Or would they even dare to stay for the next 1 or 2 years? Attracting pa lang yan. What more, yung retaining pa. Wherein 40% less employees leave companies with strong employer brands after their first 6 months of employment. 6 months is their getting to know stage. It's not just about the employer getting to know the employee, but also employee gauging if okay ba tong company? Stable ba siya? Okay ba yung culture? Si sir at si ma'am ba madali kausap? And 45% of employees are referred, surprisingly. So yung mga employees natin, therefore, they create a strong employer branding. So kahit anong promote nila sa Facebook, kahit anong promote nila sa social media, when they say referral, it's the word of mouth. Taob lahat si Facebook, taob lahat si Twitter, taob lahat si LinkedIn kapag employee na yung nag-feedback about the firm or about your company. Just imagine a coffee shop. Coffee shop nowadays, you would spend around 200 pesos just to get a good cup of coffee. But, as you would notice, walang coffee shop ang may commercial. Have you noticed? Even the most famous brands, they do not even have promotional items. You won't see them on TV. You won't hear them on radio. You will just see them on social media. Diba? So what happens there? Because good brands get good feedback from good paying from good paying customers who experience good service. Ganun lang yon. So, kung ano yung binibigay ni employer or ni brand would make will make a consumer feel good and therefore will provide good feedback. And the cycle continues. That's why 45% of them were just referral. So question, pag tinanong ba sa employee, would they give you a good feedback? Or would they just be no comment? And 83% of employees would leave their current firms in case of getting an offer from a firm with a better reputation. Take note, alam niyo po ba na when HR was established, when the resume was created, it's not about how good you work in the company, but which company you came from. Yan, sa mga HR dyan, for sure, pag nakita niyo yung resume ng isang employee, hindi lang kayo nakatingin kung saan siya, kung ano yung mga ginawa niyang task, but also, lalabas din dyan yung school. Uy, galing sa ganitong school niyo, galing sa reputable school. Uy, ang ganda ng mga companies niya before. Lagi siyang part of the top 100 companies of the Philippines. Uy, known brand yung pinanggalingan niya. So therefore, known brand makes good employees. Tama ba yun? Who knows? Because it's how we retain employees. And maybe kaya pinupuntahan yung mga top brands na sinitune natin kanina, it's because they have good feedback. And that good feedback means good reputation. So in creating your reputation, It starts with human capital. Sabi nga, di ba, if you take good care of your employees will take good care of your clients. So kahit anong alaga mo sa client mo, kung si employee naman ay hindi happy sa'yo, it has the same effect. So pick your poison. And in human capital, it's not just about handling your manpower, but also it's about number one, rewards and recognition. Yan. Sabi nga sa mga online store, would you give me a 5-star? What does 5-star consist? Nandyan yung quality of the product, nandyan yung quality of delivery, yung bilis niya, yung accuracy ng in-order mo. So same goes with human capital. Hey, human capital, do you provide rewards and recognitions to give you 5-star? Who knows? Next, technology. High-tech na ba ang mga offices nyo ngayon? I remember may isa akong company na puntahan before. We still do manual payroll. Yes, happy si employee because they receive right amount of salary, right benefits. However, si HR mismo hindi happy. Sabi nila, sir, baka naman gusto natin bumili ng konting payroll man lang. Kasi until now, I still add 8 hours plus 10% of the excess to get what we call your overtime pay. Ba? So may mga ads pa tayo dyan that tedious, very complicated, and sometimes prone to error. Also, teamwork is a must. Gone are the days that we evaluate employees individually. Ayan. But now, in human capital, we evaluate departments on how well do they perform. As you would notice, ano ba yung perfect example nito? If you are part of any organization that, for example, insurance or selling multi-level marketing, they evaluate teams, not person, because the responsibility of each one of the members is to ensure that their co-employees, their colleagues are doing well as well. Kasi yun ang core nila. Kahit anong galing nung isa, kung bagsak naman yung performance ng isa, wala din. Kulang. Kaya, importante nowadays with human capital, you capitalize on teams. Because teams create results, and results generate profit, and profit means performance. Then, to keep you updated, your job and job hunters are just one click away. Kaya nga, over the past few years, mababa na ang mga walk-in natin, mga walk-in applicants. Ang mga employees, ang mga job seekers natin ngayon ay madalas online na. They won't even dare walking the streets of any business cities just to submit resume. It's just click of a button. And also, examinations are not just now a gauge of knowledge, but it's a gauge of personality. Just imagine, culture. Culture ng company is integrity. There are questions in your pre-employment tests that pertains to integrity. Unlike before, you will just gauge on if you know how to do math, if you know how to do if you have good English, if you have good interpretation. But right now, it's more on culture. It's more on the personality. It's how you fit in the industry. And everything is fast-paced. Lahat mabilis. Hiring 2 days. Diba? Christmas bonus given as early as November. Training and development online. Na even na lahat nagki-keep up. Kung mabilis ka as HR, mas mabilis yung paligid mo. Because papunta ka pa lang, nakaikot na sila. Kasi hinahatak mo pa yung ibang naiiwan. So that's the role of HR. So kahit gaano kabilis ang industry, kahit gaano kabilis ang society, we as HR's role is to ensure that no one gets left behind. Uy, may naiiwan ba? Because at the end of the day, if you want to be number one, it's not just HR, but it's a collective effort ng organization. And being in a collective effort, HR is one of the catalysts. Catalyst siya ng pagbabago. Catalyst siya ng change. Catalyst siya ng development. That's why for today, our focus is remodeling. Because right now, yung changes natin, tayo ba naiiwan or pinag-iiwanan na natin sila for us to become the employer of choice? Over the next 12 months, employees are expected to be more on engagement to technology. True enough. Diba? True enough. Right now, we are all expected to be techie. Diba? Kapag hindi ka marunong mag-Zoom, patay tayo dyan. Pag hindi ka marunong mag-file ng leave mo online, absent ka nun sigurado. And 53% of them are planning to implement employee engagement online. First things first, pagdating ng Christmas party mo na online, ready ka na ba sa games mo? O hanggang ngayon, ang games mo luksong baka pa din? Or sack race na kailangan actual mong gagawin? Yung dance ano mo ba? Yung dance and singing competition mo ba? Talagang kailangan actual pa rin or live performance pa din? Yan ang unang challenge. Ang hirap lalo na yung parlor games. Sama ka din, Miss Rona. Yung parlor games mo, paano? Palo sebo, pero sa bahay. So hirap, di ba? Yung mga pabitin mo, talagang mabibitin ka kasi hindi mo alam kung saan masasabit eh. So there are a lot of changes that we need to be keep off. Kasi kapag naiwan ka, patay. Lugi tayo dyan. So, isama mo pa dyan yung compliance natin. Diyan si Dole. Every month, naglalabas ng bagong advisory. Hindi mo rin pwedeng kalimutan si SSS. Hindi mo pwedeng kalimutan si PhilHealth at Pag-ibig. Lalo na yung OWA. Kapag ang iyong employee ay nasa abroad, wage increase. Kailangan mas mabilis ka pa sa alas 4 dyan. Pag ikaw na pagsabihan ng mga employees mo about wage increase, tas delayed ka ng 1 month, yari ka pati kay finance. With the integration of Data Privacy Act, si Data Privacy Act, ang dami na tong complications ngayon. Ang laki kasi ng penalty pag hindi ka nag-comply eh. Then nandyan pa si Endo. Si Endo natin is a big issue since time immemorial. Ayaw natin na nag-e-end ng contract ng employee, pero how would you manage that? Employee or employer? Sino pipiliin mo? Though mag-hire ka ng marami, however, that entails cost. And cost means lesser dividend for the employees. Saan pa si maternity benefit? Naku. Si maternity benefit, I remember, when this one was released, previous years, nagkaroon ng change. Sabi ng mga employers, Jean, pwede bang huwag na tayong mag-hire ng ladies? Kasi syempre, 105 days was 3.5 months and then you give 3.5 worth of salary pero ang iaabot lang sa'yo ni SSS was just almost 3/4 of it. But as HR, we manage also discrimination. So we now create environment where there's a balance between your employer, your employees, and government compliance. Dumadami na. Mine-mention ko pa lang, napapagod na ako. Also, nandyan pa si integration ng online tsaka ng virtual. And technology. So right now, I'm working for a law firm. So si law firm is, because we adapted work from home, yung mga secretaries namin ngayon, we converted them to virtual support staff. So virtual support staff acts like call center where tatawag ka or magla-login ka, magbibigay ka ng mga task mo online, then meron siyang queuing system na parang restaurants, na parang call center agents, na parang bangko para ma-attendan ka smoothly. So with the integration of online and virtual, your employee should also keep up. So training nowadays was given to them to act as call center agents wherein tama, accurate yung phone call, accurate yung pagkakasabi, then yung note-taking nila plus yung mga virtual sending. They are now taught how to facilitate Zoom meetings. They are now taught how to handle MS Teams, how to take notes online, then how to send it in compliance with the data privacy. Because kung hindi, mapag-iiwanan tayo because we are seeing pandemic right now. Hindi pa siya mawawala in the next maybe 6 to 12 months. Bagong taon, pandemya pa din. Yung Valentine's natin, pandemya pa rin yun for sure. So marami tayong tinatamaan. That's why kailangan natin mag-adjust. So for us to adjust well, It's a step-by-step process in remodeling your HR. Yan. So take note, remodeling HR is a big task yet an easy solution. So for this program, hindi po namin kayo i-require humingi ng malaking budget. Ito yung highlight na actually. Hindi namin kayo i-require humingi ng malaking budget. Hindi namin kayo i-require mag-hire ng extrang tao. Hindi rin namin kayo i-require dito na mag-isip na parang Google wherein kailangan tatapatan nyo, bibili tayo ng kung ano-ano. But we will just restructure what we currently have. Okay. So in structuring your HR, we create a customer journey map. Yes, a customer journey map is a 9-step process. Actually, it varies. It can be 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9. Wherein a customer journey map is a visual representation of every experience of your customer. Take note, every experience. It helps to tell the story of a customer's experience with your brand from the original engagement, and hopefully, it creates a long-term relationship. So therefore, iisa-isahin natin lahat ng pinagdadaanan ng customer. Nakapanood na po ba kayo ng mga musical last years, in the previous years? Or even movies? For sure, nakapanood na kayo. And for every movies or musical that you have encountered, I'll ask you, saan nagsisimula ang customer journey ninyo kung manonood kayo ng movie or manonood kayo ng isang stage play? Nagsa-start ba siya pagpasok mo ng pinto? Nagsa-start ba siya pag play ng music or ng pag-turn off ng lights? Actually, hindi. When we say customer journey, it even starts way before. Way before pa. So, customer journey map. Simulan natin. A customer journey ng isang panonood ng movie or stage play actually starts learning. Nalaman mo na may stage play. Nalaman mo na pagdating ng December, may stage play or may movie na lalabas. Nalaman mo na this 2020, online pala ang Metro Manila Film Festival. Oh, question. Nung nalaman mo ba na online ang film festival, anong feeling mo? Yes? Okay, pwede na. Or, parang nakakatamad manood ng sine virtually. Planning. At this stage, plano mo bumili. Nalaman mo na yung movie or yung play na papanoorin mo or yung movie na papanoorin mo mahal. Go ka pa ba? Or nalaman mo na, uy, buy one, take one, kahit mahal, sige. Magsasama ako ngayon ng kaibigan para manood. So, plano ko ngayon, yes, bibili ako. Sasama ko yung date ko para makatipid ako dun sa pagbili. So, yan na, plano. Purchasing. Bibili na ako. Kung ikaw customer, pipila ka ba? Do you remember the times na pag nasa movie house ka lang, pag maganda yung movie, pipila ka? Na yung movie 6 p.m. pero pila mo kailangan 1 pa lang. Kasi yung daming tao. So at this point, painful ba siya sa customer? Or matutuwa ka ba kung ikaw yung customer, bibili ka, pipila ka 6 hours just to watch a 2-hour movie? Tough call. Also, entering, papasok ka na dun sa binilhan mong movie or ng stage play or sa isang concert hall. Pagpasok mo ba, anong ambience? Mala amusement park ba siya ng puro ilaw? Will it make you excited? Or parang ano ba naman to? Pag ito yung place na napili nila, ang dumi-dumi. Then eto na, maghihintay ka. Pagpasok mo ng sinehan, pagpasok mo ng stage play, uupo ka for the next 30 minutes, 1 hour. Painful? Okay lang mag-wait? May aircon ba? May pa-snacks ba sila? And ito na, manonood ka na. Overall, maganda ba yung movie? Then, pagtapos ng play or pagtapos ng movie, lalabas ka na. Question, did the movie or stage play made its mark to you? Or ikaw yung, sayang pera? Ba yan? And last, uulit ka. If there's a good movie, if there's a good play, minsan may mga tao nakakabili 4, 5 times, inuulit nila, I know some. Na parang, Kasama nila ako on the first, niyaya ako on the third. Para ko, why? Why not? And last but not the least, feedback. So for every movie, for every stage play, hindi natatapos ang customer journey pag pumasok siya at lumabas siya. Aabangan mo rin yung feedback nila sa Facebook. Aabangan mo yung feedback nila sa Twitter. Nakalagay dyan, ay, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 3 out of 10. Medyo corny, hindi pambata, or sometimes masyadong luma yung tema, hindi magaling yung artista. You will hear a lot. And that feedback is a customer journey as well, experience. Kasi nakikita ng customers mo, nakikita ng mga tao na, yung feedback hindi maganda. Or yung kanilang reaction medyo okay pala. And even your social media team, they even provide information about that. So in human resource, it's also the same thing. Gagawa ka ng customer journey mo for HR. For example, you will create your customer journey HR externally, applicant mo, step 1. Kapag ni-research ba nila yung iyong organization, maganda na kagad? May website ba wherein they can do research about your organization? When they submit their resume, mahirap ba mag-submit sa inyo? Do they need to submit it online? Do they need to submit it virtually? Or do they need to create a form? There's a lot of customer journey experience for HR. Even having their benefits. Before, if you work in a manufacturing plant, ang kanilang benefits, iaabot sa'yo yung pera every month. Bibigyan ka nila ng sobre. Yung sobre nasa loob yung salary mo. Iaabot sa'yo. Pero bago umabot sa'yo yan, pipila ka pa. Kasi lalo pag ang apelido mo letter Z, Zamora for example. Zamora, kawawa ka because you will be the last of all na makaka-receive ng salary mo. Uwian nyo 5. Baka mamaya 8 o'clock nandyan ka pa. So for them, it's painful. Then, just imagine, you will go home, dala mo yung pera mo with a threat na possible na ma-hold up ka dyan. There's a threat of possibility na baka mamaya, ito yung mangyari sa'yo. Hindi mo alam. Because that's a painful point because it's a part of your process. So that's why right now, when you remodel your HR, it's important for you to establish which are the painful points. Remember, you take note of the painful points. One painful point na alam natin when it comes to recruitment is the waiting time for the applicants before they get called. Sige. Sino sa inyo naghihintay ng oras-oras para lang ma-interview? Kasi ang interview 15 minutes. Parang, why? Bakit? And then, after that, sige, I'll give feedback to you 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Ay, bagong taon na, wala pa akong trabaho. 2 weeks? And then sa dulo, meron na namang third interview, fourth interview. Sabay meron ka pang demonstration. It's painful because there's a lot of effort na i-exert ng iyong applicant. Training and development. Training and development, isasubmit mo yung program sa boss mo, papa-approve mo yung budget. Pag walang budget, sorry. Pag merong budget, i-define mo why. Tapos after the training program, gagawa ka ng training follow through para sa team mo. Is it painful? Is it fun? So it's the first question of your customer journey. Kailangan malaman natin if the experience is fun, if the experience is something to change, or is the experience something na okay lang, benefit. Ito na, sa mga nagbe-benefit dyan, sa mga may mga benefits. Benefits mo, attend ka, let's say, mother of 2. Tapos, ang benefit ng company mo, tapos overnight. Paano susama si mommy? May inaalagaan siyang baby. Or sometimes, yung benefit ng company, let's just say, meron kayong isang retreat. But as we all know, not everyone practices the same religion. Tapos, pag hindi umattend si employee, violation. Diba? So there's a lot of painful points for every employee. So for us to create a holistic approach for HR, we need to innovate. Diba? Innovation. So innovation is something that we need to change but not really that big. So kung meron ka ng baseline, i-improve mo lang. That's innovation. So points to consider innovation, you need to look at your finances. May pondo ba? If wala, then retain or same budget yung gagawin natin. Then you need to present it sa inyong mga boss and meron ba kayong tools and resources. So let's start off with recruitment. Si recruitment, kailangan social sourcing na yan. Kung mapapansin ninyo, medyo wala nang dating ngayon yung mga job fair, wala nang dating ngayon yung mga mall shows. Unless, di ba? Unless you are sourcing for positions that requires job fair. For example, probinsya. So, mag-change ngayon yung environment ni recruitment. So, therefore, kapag ang hinahire ko ay mga CEO, hindi ko mahanap yan sa job fair, parang awa nyo. You don't expect them to stay in their suit or in their barong, walking inside the job fair looking for a position of CEO. So, you need to divert your strategy in recruitment. Makikita mo sa mga job fair, madalas mga fresh grad. Ayan, yung mga yung mga workers, should we say. So before, ito pa kinakatakot when it comes to recruitment, pag recruitment, testing, interview, interrogating, find the best fit, pen and paper. So pag bagsak ka, sorry, farewell. Then si recruiter pa, pag late, okay lang ba sa'yo, may bawas? Pag late, okay lang ba sa'yo, mata-terminate? Pag yung benefits, okay lang bang discuss na natin pag na-hire ka na? Eh di si applicant, okay, sige. Pero right now, when we say human capital, it's more on attracting them. Instead of testing, why don't you just provide them yung mga real case scenarios wherein makikita mo yung hands-on experience nila. Wherein you appetize them. Diba? May appetizer ka na, did you know that ito, yung coffee namin free, you may take one. Please, may snacks din dyan. Para pag upo doon ni applicant, uy, ang ganda pala dito kasi ang ganda ng office, may TV na, may coffee pa habang naghihintay. Hindi ako naboboard. And there's a homey feel. Unlike, I remember, may company ako napuntahan before. Si applicant, kakapkapan. Titignan yung bag. Kala mo terorista yung nandyan. Pero what if, when there's a applicant that walks into your office, you welcome them as HR. Uy, have a seat muna dito sa couch natin. Do you want some coffee, juice, water, snacks while you're waiting? So that's how we develop recruitment. So it will not make you painful in their eyes. But then Facebook, LinkedIn, lahat yan available sa inyo. Actually, you could research them kung ano yung best time mag-post sa Facebook, best time na maglagay ng mga job ads because it's there. And also, it's free. Unlike when you get your online portals, job portals, it will give you around, 20,000 a year, 40,000 a year. Kung walang budget, Facebook, gandahan mo lang. YouTube as well. Uso ngayon to, yung mga vlog na to. Virtual tour ng office to make them excited. Then, Instagram. Lahat ng pictures, lahat ng pwede mong ipakita mo na sa umpisa. Hindi siya dapat na tinatago mo sa applicant. Why? Because actually, that's the role of your screening process. Kahit ma-attract silang lahat, pero you will be selecting at the end of the day. You just attract them. I remember when we hire fresh lawyers or mga gagraduate lang na lawyers, we conduct dinner. Not because sinusuhulan namin sila, but to give them a tour in the office. And we welcome them because the office is open for all. Now, that's a strategy that you need to tweak. How will you make your office appetizing doon sa inyong mga applicant? Baka naman pagpasok nila, tumutulo yung kisame ninyo, tapos yung hagdan ninyo, pang-tetano na, or yung water dispenser nyo, fountain lang. So mga bagay na yon, kailangan mo siyang baguhin so that it will make your office attractive. Lalo na, diverse ngayon. May mga students, may mga working parents, may mga employees na PWD. So how are you adjusting to these types of employment? Or talagang strict ka? I remember also there's a one company through this thing really happened. May mga kanya-kanya silang preference. When you say preference, bawal tong religion na to or yung age ganito or yung tattoo, bawal yan. May mga ganun pa rin company. However, it now lessens your opportunity to hire good employees. And also, it creates fear sa mga mag-a-apply. Sabihin sa'yo, huwag ka mag-a-apply dyan. Bawal yung may ganyan. Bawal itong ganito. Bawal yung mga yan. Eh di ang naalala lang sa'yo, puro bawal. Lalo na BPO coming in. With BPO, look at their strategy. Hire everyone. Pero, how will you ensure the quality? Train them. Give them the opportunity to learn. Who knows? Yung mga nandyan, yung mga 18 years old na mga undergraduates, they are the ones that may mga eagerness to work. Pero, if giving them the right tool, right opportunity, right development, who knows? They are the next best employees that you have. Samahan mo na ng benefits. Eto na, benefits before, salary, SSS, PhilHealth, pag-ibig, 13th month, and yung monetary bonus. Why don't you convert it? Your mandatory benefits, put some leaves. Give some gifts. Performance bonus. Ito na, gym passes. Especially sa mga young employees natin. Movie tickets, travel plans, or some companies, they choose their benefits. How do you do this now? Sabi ko nga kanina, you don't need to ask more budget. What we did before, may budget yung outing. Yan, budget yung outing. Twice yung outing budget. So, let's say the outing budget is 1,000 each. So, there's a 2,000 budget for outing. What we did, we convert the 1,000 pesos and gave it as a movie ticket, a travel plan, a gym passes. We partner with, let's say, with the fitness gym provider, discounted rate, give them passes. Or kapag birthday, buy them a cake. Just imagine magkano naman yung cake, 500 pesos. Or give them a performance bonus that if you reach perfect attendance at the end of the year, you get bonuses. Diba? So the benefits now is varies from every position. If your employee is a daddy of 4, matutuwa yan if you will give them grocery benefits. Give them GC. GC to, let's say, a grocery. GC to a sports hub. They would enjoy it rather than giving them travel plans. Sir, paano ako magta-travel? Yung anak ko, 4 nag-aaral pa. Tapos yung isa, kasi mami, buntis. So now, your benefits, same budget, pero iba-iba yung beneficiaries mo, iba-iba yung mabibigay mong benefits. Yung iba, wag na, sige, Jean, let's scrap uniform. Instead, yung uniform, let's make it into a good benefits. Nilagyan ko lang na rules yung uniform, like bawal yung mga punit-punit na pants, bawal na kachinelas. But nevertheless, you gauge your employees based on performance, not their uniform compliance. My God, ang galing nga nung employee mo, pero na-terminate dahil hindi nag-uniform. Kawawa naman siya. Then company programs. Yeah, before Christmas party and summer outing, which is very typical. But right now, convert mo yung araw. Fun Fridays, for example. Fun Fridays is just a creating games in the office on a Friday. Budget, minimal. Wellness Wednesday, magpa-Zumba ka sa office mo every Wednesday. You play a video or you hire a fitness instructor. How much? Ang liit lang ng budget niyan. Then team building activities instead of summer outing. Yan, ito na. Before kasi pag sinabing summer outing, ano lang yan, talagang swimming, tapos inom, karaoke, then bonding. Why don't you convert it into a team building activities wherein 3-4 hours of that event, you make it something worthwhile. Something that you would learn, they would learn also. Something that they would also appreciate as a team. That they would know people better. That will make them bonded. Also, same with Wellness Wednesday. Rather than just letting them go after work and then kanya-kanyang uwi, why don't you initiate a Zumba session? 30 minutes, 1 hour? Would it affect your work schedule? No. Your birthday bash. Diba? Maglagay ka ng birthday greeting on his or her table para pagpasok niya, uy, happy birthday, may small cake. Budget, minimal. Effect, unlimited. Diba? Yung kanilang emotional and psychological support mabuboost because hey, na-feel ko na appreciated ako ng company because just imagine you would buy a cake, you would blow candles, you would give small gifts, small tokens, notes from boss nakalagay doon, happy birthday, etc., etc. It's very appreciated. Pero yung budget mo, hindi ma-affect yan. Very minimal for employees. Because more than 50% of job seekers actually rank employer branding as their deciding factor for signing a contract. Kung babalikan nyo kanina yung experience ng employees when it comes to SGB, salary-wise, yes, okay, nandun na siya. Pero the learning that they would gather dun sa firm is outstanding. Di ba? Kasi paglabas nga nila ng company na yun, ang laki kagad ng pay nila. Google. Diba? Google's reputation na paglabas ng company, mabilis ma-hire. Kaya nga po importante yung question na how does your employee feel when they are inside your company? Do they feel good? Do they feel stressed? Do they feel bad? Do they feel outstanding? Do they feel great? Yung mga questions na yan may determine what will be your next step, especially come 2021. At the end of the day, results are important. Diba? Pag samasamahin mo yan, yung kanilang performance, yung kanilang satisfaction, and results will come in. And that results would lead to a better performance. And who knows, pag maganda ang results mo, andun na, papasok na lahat yun, your bonuses. Andun yung bonuses mo, nandun yung mga andun yung mga satisfaction, and being top one in the industry is also something worthwhile. And lahat would take it would would be appreciated about it. Appreciative sila about that. And one key steps for you to become a good employer is adjusting, lalo na sa new normal. And new normal means digital. Question, are you still on digital HR? And if digital HR kayo, what are the steps that you converted para maging digital ang HR ninyo? Digital HR has their own advantages and disadvantages, of course. Dito, I must say, hindi siya cost efficient kasi babayad ka talaga. Pero the effect to your employees would be drastic because you will require less manpower. It's very accessible, so fit for work from home. Reduce paperwork, so wala yung mawawala, wala mapupunit, walang matatapon. It's very cost effective, time efficient, it's very quick, and transparent. Kasi makikita mo, makikita niya, makikita ng boss mo, walang nawawalang data. Pero yun nga, you have to invest on this. If you are not yet on digital, there are a lot of providers out there. Just visit your Facebook groups. Nandun lahat ng digital HR ninyo, and even Approach. Approach is there to help you. And with traditional ones, yeah, time-consuming, yes, it's there. Ang catch lang talaga nito is how well would you manage your finances? Both are efficient, both are okay. However, depende sa finances mo yan. We would not force you to go digital, but I want you to explore digital HR for convenience. And malay mo, trying it out is worth every penny. Also, knowledge management. Knowledge management is one of the newest department for every company. Wow, newest. When we say newest, because this is the process of creating, sharing, and managing knowledge and information inside any organization. So knowledge management actually is gathering all your data, gathering all the past information, and then collating it to come up with what best practices. Sometimes may mga practices tayo that bumabalik-balik. Parang ano lang yan, parang fashion lang yan. Remember those in the 1980s wherein they wear colored pants? Diba? Mga colored sneakers. Pero look at it, bumabalik siya ngayon. Yung mga flowery dress, nandun ulit ngayon sa fashion eh. So same with knowledge. Malay mo, yung mga information that you gathered way back in 2000 is still there. May mga information na, may mga data dyan na nung practice mo ng 2000, it's still there. Kaya kung papansin ninyo, may mga restaurants na binabalik-balik nila yung mga dati nilang products. Oh, ha? Di ba? Remember, may mga fast food, binabalik nila yung mga old products nila. Why? Because they saw that in the past years, those products sold well. Imagine mo, 1 million, let's say 1 million burgers yung nabenta. So who knows? Pag binalik mo siya by January 2021, it would even get more than 1 million because may mga taong na-miss yung information na yan. So knowledge management is the key to get that. And when yung mga data na yon, pagsasama-samahin ng isang department, ipupull out niya from marketing, from finance, from HR, from procurement, lahat ng data na yon pagsasama-samahin to become a collective analyzation. I-analyze ni knowledge management yon for them to make a recommendation on which will work and which will not. Because who knows, who knows, you don't need to recreate it because it's already there. Ang gagawin mo na lang, kukunin siya, pagsasama-samahin, and then implement it again. It's more efficient. Kesa ginawa mo noong 2015, i-recreate mo lang. Pag ni-recreate mo, start from scratch. Hindi gagawin ko, I'll get 2015's data, 2021. That's knowledge management. So knowledge management is actually a process. This process starts from creating your knowledge, then you share your knowledge. Kung ano yung ma-share mo, you will structure it. Yun yung role ni knowledge management. Kukunin mo yung mga data, structure mo siya, it's like creating a food. Kukunin mo yung ingredients, pagsasama-sama mo yung ingredients, and now, knowledge structuring means you create a cookbook. From the knowledge na nakuha mo, pagsasama-samahin mo siya, sa structure mo siya, until maging isa siyang document or isa siyang information or data. And that data is now can be kept doon sa inyong organization for future reference. Who knows? Next, being diverse also is important because now ideas coming in from in and out of the country is very important. Did you know that companies prefer Filipinos not because they are Filipinos, but because they have this identity na masipag ang Pinoy. Kaya yung mga companies abroad, sometimes or most of the times they prefer Filipino trainers because hindi natuturo yung kasipagan, pero yung kasipagan na yon nakikita nila yung effect doon sa organization. So you can always tell people, sipagan natin, galingan natin. Pero who wouldn't see it? Hindi mo makikita yon. So ang effect nun is the practices of the Filipino people outside the Philippines, nakikita na yung sipag, yung tiyaga, etc., all those good things. That's why similar with your organization, when you pull in different people, diba, yung mga expats ninyo, yung mga foreigners ninyo, or even age, religion, ethnicity, culture, background, kuha ka lang. Then pagsama-samahin mo yung mga ideas na yun, and that ideas can create good things. For example, yung mga food natin ngayon, spicy food. Mga spicy food, dati wala yan. If you notice yung mga fast food, walang spicy food masyado. Pero when they gather data from different genders, different age gap, nalaman nila yung mga bata mahilig sa manghang pala. Or they like saucy things. Mga chicken wings na yan, etc., etc. They find it appetizing. Pero yung mga adults, mahilig nila mga fish and stuff. Kaya ngayon yung mga different brands, they have this category na pang kapag tumingin ka sa menu, there's this kids corner doon sa menu nila. Why? Because they know na hindi kakain ng rellenong bangus yung mga bata na yan. They won't even eat tuna belly. Anong hahanapin nila when they're in a restaurant? Burgers, chickens, fries, iced tea, ice cream. So that's why in every menu, there's a kids corner. Because that's how you analyze diversity. You appreciate the diversity that you have in your organization. And it works well. So that's why in workplace diversity, you have different perspectives. You increase creativity because you put in different information. You solve problems faster because of different inputs. Then sharing of innovation that leads to better decision making. And better decision making means you have more profit, higher employee engagement. When you have higher employee engagement, mababawasan ang turnover. Therefore, better company reputation. At the end of the day, you have your hiring results. Tama mo pa sa hiring results mo, it's for you to manage the career. Ito yung madalas na nawawala sa isang organization when you don't manage the career of your employees. Sometimes, na-hire sila as assistant, magre-resign assistant for how long? 10 years. Na-hire a supervisor, after 15 years, supervisor pa rin siya. So career management is a conscious planning of what one can achieve or get engaged to in his time span doon sa organization. So importante 'yon. Salaries there, yes, increases are there, pero what's in it for me? What's next for me? Yung mga ibang employees dyan, do you even support them when they decided na, sir, magma-master's degree ako? Ay, hindi, bawal. Why? Ba't yung mag-aaral? Makakasira lang yung trabaho. So, aalis ka ng maaga? No, I don't support it. But at the end of the day, the career is not just about you working in an organization, but also you developing yourself all throughout your life. Sabi nga sa introduction kanina, learning is a lifelong process and it doesn't stop sa isang organization. Organization will provide, yes, but everything else, it's in your hands. So that's why your role as HR is to create a planning. Gaano katagal ba bago maging supervisor ang isang employee? Gaano katagal bago maging manager? More so, ano yung mga skills na kailangan meron ng mga position na to for them to be called one? Because if not, patay. Stuck sila sa position na yon. And kasabay ng career management is you do your performance and quality management. To be honest, mahirap siya implement. This will be a tough role. This will be a long, tedious task. But I must tell you, performance and quality management works well both ways. You monitor their performance and them monitoring theirs. So it's a win-win situation if you justify increases, if you justify benefits, if you will justify promotions, ito yung perfect tool for you. Lalo na when your company is traditional and they just know employees na they provide benefits because they're tenured. Yung mga ganun employees eh. Sige, increase natin siya because he's been here for the last 10 years. Pero for the last 10 years, what improved sa kanya? Did he even improve? Or you just give them because tenure? Tough yun because resources, nasasayang siya. Resources wise, you could have allotted it to a better output. But then again, it's a company discretion, and you as HR's role is to be on the middle. Services. Yes, the problem with employees right now is they don't feel engaged. So that's why in the solution is actually 5 things. First, fix your benefits. Like what we have discussed earlier, your benefits can be changed without hurting your wallets. Convert mo lang. Convert your outing to a team building. Convert your uniform to a gym passes, to field trips para sa mga anak, or bigas para sa may pamilya, or GC for the older ones. Next, and then manage your compensation. Give them something to look forward to. Hindi yung biglaan nila na, ay, may increase. Why? Because kapag binibigla-bigla mo lang yan, baka mabigla ka. Wala palang increase. Then pag walang increase, iiwan ka ng mga yan. More so, learning management. Give them something to look forward. Especially, what's in it for me? Growing wise. Sabi nga, di ba, ni hierarchy of needs. There's a point in your life that you will be needing to grow, not just having money or the car or the house, but also you as a person. Are you growing or are you stuck? Sometimes when you do not have the learning management skills in your office, what happens is they look out. They look outside the organization, and sometimes looking outside the organization means they resign. When they resign, wala na tayong magagawa doon. Yun na yun. That's the end of the road for them. Next, then performance review. Performance review acts as your stabilizer. What's right, what's wrong, what could be done, and what will be the next steps. And at the end of the day, it's onboarding is how you attract your employees. So remember, when we say onboarding, it's not just about being being a salesperson to them, but also being real to them. Because remember, you are the first person they would ever meet in the organization. And then pag tinanong ano ba yung unang impression sa'yo, sana sagutin ka na rin na, ang bait po ng HR, hindi yung pinaghintay po niya ako. Mabait lang po siya nung una kasi nag-hire siya. Pero nung bandang-banda, berdugo po pala siya. Ang tawag po sa kanya, the Terminator. Ayan. So that's why for us to become a holistic HR, we do not need budget, but we need realignment. And it creates an identity that a company looks like, works like, and feels like this. Yun ang effect nun. And it attracts applicants through feedback and word of mouth. Kapag maganda yung experience, ito sabi natin kanina, if maganda experience sila, they would recommend you. And you become top choice. Last, last four, ayan, employees get excited on what's in store for them during their stay. Then they would stay, of course. And staying means loyalty. And loyalty means productivity because they contribute well. So, Jean, paano ba gagawin to? So, for you to do this, you need to become a project manager also. But just be aware of this. Hindi po lahat papalitan ha. By the way, hindi lahat papalitan. Ang papalitan nyo lang po kung ano po muna yung kailangan. Baka mamaya yung Christmas party, bigyan yung paltan. Baka mamaya yung performance management, bigyan yung paltan. Not yet, wag muna. Ang papalitan nyo lang is yung mga may kailangan kayo. Then make your change exciting. Diba? You make your change exciting and relevant. Kaya nga sabi nila, it's not just about being smart goals, but smarter because the ER is exciting and relevant. Then after that, you plan your project, you do your budgeting, you change your budget, you have your schedule, you communicate it, then you deliver it. Then once you have executed your plan, your project, you track development and you gather feedback. Then doon ka magpunta sa next. Sunod-sunod na 'yan hanggang makarami ka. Iisa-isahin mo na ngayon 'yan. That's why it's important also as project manager that you become smart on your goals. You need to have a good planning ability and you need to have execution. If you need manpower, if you need stockholders, shareholders, please do communicate it to them because they will be your support group and your support group will give you tons of support. They will give you the money, they would give you the manpower, they would give you the timeline, they would give you everything that you need as long as you sell it properly to them. So that's why, again, babalikan natin yung smarter goals, make it exciting, make it relevant because if you were able to buy their vote sa point na yan, doing your project and planning and doing your project is as easy as 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So, as HR, it's never a job. For you to become a great HR, dapat hindi job ang tingin mo sa kanya. It should be a passion. Because passion needs to be loved. Yan, diba? Sabi nga nila, choose a job that you love. So because if you don't love your job, you just drag yourself every morning going to work and hoping that your day ends at 3 p.m. But if you choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. So that ends the program for this afternoon. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you Aprosh for having me here. Actually, it's very exciting to have an online program. It's fun. Kasi second time, third time, pero yeah, keeps me excited pa rin. So if you wish to contact me for everyone who's here in the online seminar, so pwede nyo na akong kontakin. Ayan po ang email ko. It's there in front of you. So if you need anything, you can message me anytime. Pakilala lang po kayo ha. Ayan, and there you go. Rona, are you still here?
Yes po, andito pa po. Okay. So,
Ay, nandiyan ka
ayan.
pa pala. Kala ko nawala
Yes.
ka na.
Oo, andito pa. Nakikinig ako sa iyong mga discussion. Parang yung mga assignment ko dun sa mga umattend kanina ng HR bootcamp masterclass, parang nandun sa slides mo yung mga kasagutan sa tanong nila.
Ay, nandun ba? Sorry.
Anyways, okay, so guys, if ever you would want to get in touch with Sir Jean Kenneth Ilagan, ilagan.jeankenneth@gmail.com, or you can head to linkedin.com/in/Jean Kenneth. Ayan po. So if you would like to reach out to him, dyan niyo po siya pupuntahan. Sir Jean, lalagay po muna kita sa background habang pinapasalamatan po natin ang ating mga sponsors. Ayan. So bago po natin pasalamatan ng sponsors, yung mga yung mga questions niyo po, pakilagay po sa ating comment section para po ma-address po yan ni Sir Jean pagbalik po niya. Okay? Okay. So, meron po tayo isa po sa ating mga sponsors, Wikinix. Wikinix is having a back to business sale, selected items, 25% off discount. So, if you need po office supplies, you can get in touch with them through their Facebook page para po mag-request po ng quotation. Applicable to all office supplies order for the whole month of November and December. So mga gusto pa pong humabol, ayan po, dyan po kayo po pwedeng pumunta. Sa mga nagtatanong po, Diyos ko, sumasabit ang aking lalamunan, naghibinata na po talaga ako. So doon sa mga nagtatanong po ng certificates, copies of the slide at recording po, it will be given to you after you have completed yung ating pong request form. So the link for the request form will be shown to you later and will be posted on our event page later din po. Tinatanggal po namin yung video. So pag hindi nyo na po naabutan yung mga naunang codes, you have to head to our YouTube channel para po panoorin ulit yung video at habulin ang nawawala pong code. Ayan po. Okay po. At meron po tayong tumatakbong contest po right now. If you would want to win a 15% discount to our Managing the Performance of Your Talents happening on December 21, 2020, please comment #UpRush Talent Management, tag three of your friends to get a chance to win a 15% discount. Winners will be announced at the end of the webinar. So maya-maya po i-announce po natin. Meron na po tayong 30 entries. Okay, so kung gusto niyo pa pong humabol, pwede pa po kayong humabol. Comment section lang po, #UpRush Talent Management, tag 3 of your friends, and then yun po, para po magkaroon kayo ng chance na magkaroon ng 15% discount to our Managing the Performance of Your Talents happening on December 21, 2020. Ayan po. Okay, e-certificates po for this session will be out starting December 23, 2020, pero dapat po nakapag-fill out kayo doon sa form na ipapakita ko po mamaya. Make sure po that your name and email address is inputted correctly para po hindi po tayo magkaroon ng problema. We would also like to thank We would also like to thank one of our sponsors po, Move Up. Move Up is a platform for microlearning. There are a lot of topics po within the Move Up application. It's available in Android and iOS. Download nyo na po yan. Learn at your own pace. Get a certificate once you have passed the exam. Please watch this video from Move Up. So kung kayo po ay gusto nyo po pong i-enhance palalo ang inyong mga soft skills, ayan po, you can download po Move Up again. You can download it sa Google Play Store po at sa Apple Store po. Okay, so sa iOS, available po siya pareho. Pwede po kayo makakuha ng certificate doon po sa kanilang mga topics na nakalagay po sa kanilang platform. Basta mapasa nyo po yung exam po nila. Okay po. Kung kayo naman po ay naghahanap ng paraan ng kung paano po magiging visible ang inyong company online, you would like to create your online presence, please watch this video from our marketing arm. Ayan po, sa mga nakaligtaan po yung codes, you have to rewatch the video po to get the code. Okay? So once na na-upload na po siya sa YouTube, punta lang po kayo doon para mapanood niyo po at mahabol niyo po ang first at second code po. Okay po? Okay. Para po sa mga naghihintay, okay, dito po kayo po pwedeng mag-request po ng inyong slides at certificate of attendance. Scan nyo na po yung QR code or head to the link po para mamaya pag pinlash po natin yung third code, i-input nyo na lang po. Okay po, so ayan po, scan nyo po yan. We would also be posting the link to our event page. So pwede nyo rin po siyang intayin mamaya. And then we would also include there yung link po sa aming panood nyo po ulit yung video sakasakali pong na-miss nyo po yung mga nakaraan na codes po. If you have any questions, comments for Sir Jean po, pakilagay na po sa ating comment section dahil tatawagin na po natin siya pabalik in 3, 2, 1. Ayan po, Sir Jean, welcome back po. Meron na po tayong mga questions po dito. Ayan. So unahin lang po natin yung ating, ano ba to? Phone-in question.
Phone
Yan. Si
in.
Yes, medyo shy po yung nagbigay ng question so na lang po siya, nakiusap po siya na baka po puwedeng wag na pong ipakita ang kanyang pangalan. Ang question niya po, paano po namin iko-convince yung boss namin that something has to be changed in our processes in the HR department and in our organization? Paano po ang dapat kong gawin?
Ayan. So, good question yan. Because sabi natin kanina, your bosses are one of the stakeholders in the organization. And HR has the toughest role to do that. Ang technique sa boss, by the way, ang technique sa boss kasi, bosses are usually very finance related. So if we will not earn, pag hindi ako kita dyan, wag na. Pag hindi ako magbe-benefit dyan, wag na. And they're very straight to the point. So for us to convince the boss, you need to have your data ready. Remember that, data ready. Hindi siya pwede sabihin, sir, mas masaya po kasi pag ganito. Sir, mas matutuwa po kasi pag ganito because there's no numerical value that would give the boss proper numbers na maniniwala siya. But if you will give your boss, sir, 70% of our employees, ting, ting, ting. Sir, this will generate additional 50,000, ting, ting, ting. That, then magiging credible ka pa nun. Because your reasoning would be merong basis. Hindi pwedeng ito yung mahirap, Ronald. Sabi sa'yo, hindi, okay lang yan. Sige, basta maganda. Sir, basta masaya. Yung mga subjective words na yun ang pinaka no, no, no when you speak
Yes.
to your boss. Yun.
Agree. Yan. So yung mga umattend po kanina ng HR Bootcamp Masterclass, actually assignment nyo po yan. Sinabi na ni Sir Gino kung paano nyo gagawin, ha? So take note nyo po yung sagot niya. That's part of your homework. Sabi nga ni Sharon, ayan, sabi ni Sharon, ma'am, homework yan. Yes, yan yung nasa homework nyo. So take note nyo po kung ano yung sinabi ni Sir Gino kasi that will play an important role on how you would craft yun pong plan na pinapagawa ko sa inyo para po mai-implement yung mga changes na dapat gawin. So, yan po yung part sa assignment niyo. So, kung nakikinig po kayo ngayon, may sinabi na si Sir G na kung paano nyo gagawin yan. Okay po. Okay.
Paki-quote. Jean Ilagan 2020.
Pwede nyo i-quote. Lagay nyo po yung pangalan doon. Okay, CTTO. Okay po. Si Sir Fernando Bellarmino. Sir Fernando, na-miss ka po namin. Para ngayon ko lang ulit naramdaman ang iyong presensya. Question. What is your advice about government employees who have stayed so long in their job and their routine is the same as every day? How can you solve the problem of government employees whose job is routinary, no challenges? Masungit and snob. What are your advice or advices to the HR of the government? Yan.
HR of the government. Let's do on the safe side. Okay. Okay. HR for routinary task. Routinary, ano bang, kumbaga ano yan eh. If you would term it na wala ka sa isang HR perspective na normal life, normal day, normal person, is what you call boredom. Yan. So boredom means same day. Parang ikaw gigising ka sa umaga, magtututbrush ka, kakain ka ng breakfast, then bibis ka ng konting bahay, etc., etc. For you to defeat that, yung boredom na yan or yung routinary na yan, challenge the person. Lalo, so ito ang maganda sa mga veteran employees. Yan, mga veteran employees na yan, though they routinary yung task nila, but they have a lot of experiences dealing with different people. And sila yung magaling actually saan? Sa process mismo. They are knowledgeable sa process. So kahit nakapikit yan, kahit tulog yung mga yan, pag gawin mo ng document yan, they would do it well. So ang technique sa kanila, bigyan mo sila ng task that would excite them. Like for example, give them the role of, hindi naman kailangan supervisor, but subject matter expert. Give them the role of being a subject matter expert wherein they will be someone that someone that they would be respected. Yung mas sikat, yung parang the feeling of sikat ka is parang wow, I'm a subject matter expert. Ako yung tipong titingalain ng mga bagong employees because they would ask me. Yan. So something na yun ang magiging makakatulong siya not just dun sa company but dun sa personal growth. Because the feeling of being appreciated as one of the known expert, kumaga dagdag yabang eh. Yun yung isama mo sa masungit. May dagdag yabang ka, so mababawasan mo yung yabang because you are expected to become a go-to person. Ayan.
Yes, correct. Agree, agree. May follow-up question siya. Who for you is a better HR administrator, babae or lalaki? And who is a better admin, millennials or yung mga old people?
Nako, tough question. Parang
Sabi
parang,
mo kasi daw kanina eh, tough questions. Ask the tough question.
yeah,
Ayan.
parang pageant pala itong sila lang. So thank you very much for asking that question, Mr. Fernando Villarino. Good evening, everyone. Ayan. For me, wala. Men or women, pareho lang yan. As long as you're objective. Kasi ang problem sa HR is a very subjective matter. Lalo na yung mga drama eh. Yung mga drama na yan. Drama, kapag nakarelate si HR, yari tayo dyan. For example, dramahan ka na hiniwalayan ka ng love life mo. Pag
ang first reaction ni HR, ay nakarelate ako.
Ay, nakarelate ako. Pag nakarelate ka, mag-iiba yung tono eh. Kasi, bawa, iniwan ka. Ay, oo, yung mga babae, mga lalaki na yan, toot! Yan eh. Kung lalabas na yung pagiging subjective mo, wherein, iba yung experience yung dalawa. Iba yung highlight yung dalawa eh. Kaya with same with HR. So as long as your tip or yung approach mo is the same, yung approach mo is objective, yung approach mo would be both beneficial, wala yan sa gender. Millennials or old people, ako same. Ako gusto ko same. I like the wisdom. Yun ang masasabi ko. I like the wisdom.
Oo, iba yung wisdom nung people who already have years of experience plus the creativity and the spontaneity of the millennials. Maganda silang combination eh.
Yes, oo. So kaya yung Christmas party tapos ang suot mo 80s.
Ay!
Tapos,
Oo, diba?
diba? So, imagine mo, TikTok, tapos 80s yung suot mo, diba? It will be a good mix of, kasi yung old, mahahatak mo eh. Oh, makakapag-get up rin ako ng 80s. At the same time, TikTok is something pambata. So, dance na luma, tapos TikTok na bago, is a good combination.
Agree. Yung kanina po ay meron po siyang follow-up question, yung ating phone-in question po. Paano if the employees are the ones resisting the change? How to handle them?
Yung employees mismo ang employees mismo ang nagre-resist. First, balikan mo muna. It's like handling a problem. What is the root cause? The root cause always answers the how. Diba? Because we need to understand first. Kasi sometimes kaya yung resist is because hindi mo na balance yung gusto ng management tsaka yung preference ng employees. Yan, dan madalas nagkakaroon ng disconnect. And for you to address a disconnect, you need to connect. Ganon kasimple. You need to connect, you need to understand, you need to where they're coming from. Lalo na kapag there's a change. And yung change, yung mga ganyan is, if it's something not acceptable for the employees, you need to know why. You need to understand why before you implement any changes. Because that's how you manage change. But change management nga, you need to understand where it's coming from, i-tweak mo siya in such a way na maiintindihan ng lahat. Because lalo na, ito yung catch. If the boss would tell you, we need to earn 50 million by increasing sales of 20%, then reduce cost by 25. If you will explain that words dun sa staff, would they understand 50 million, 20% increase, 25% reduction? No! They would understand na kailangan para makapagtipid tayo, papatayin mo yung ilaw sa gabi bago ka umuwi at makakatipid tayo ng, let's say, 10,000 naman sa kuryente. That's it.
Correct, correct. Agree, agree. Yeah, sabi ni Sharon, Ma'am Rona, root cause sounds familiar. Dapat, ay, part yan ng assignment nyo. Di ba, sa inyo? Agree ako sa sinabi ni Sir Jean. If for you to understand, for you to know how to deal with it, you first have to understand where they are coming from. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, di ba, it's an important part of yung problem solving, root cause analysis. What's the root of the problem? Minsan, we see things, yung superficial, akala natin yun na kagad yung problem. But when you try to think about it, asking the 5 whys, I mentioned that earlier, asking the 5 whys, when you ask the 5 whys, you'll get to the real cause of the problem, and then you'll be able to understand what kind of solution you should apply. Ayan. Ay, ito po muna. Sabi po ni Sir Cecilo Bayang, Sir, I would like to ask, what is the best example to approach different kinds of employees, especially when you're serving NTE? Ayan, medyo marami-raming HR ang hirap dyan, lalo na pag medyo aggressive si employee. So, paano ba yung pinakamagandang way to serve an NTE nang hindi po nagkakasamaan ng loob?
Lagay mo sa table. Joke lang. Lagay mo sa table, tas bahala na.
Oo. Iwan mo na lang, lagyan mo ng post-it na lang.
Ang catch kasi, that NT is very technical to note. It's very technical because it can be used against the company. It can be used against an employee. So here, any technical documents, any labor-related mga concerns, it should be approached yung kung ano yung standard.
Oo, agree.
Standard siya.
Mahirap
Kasi mamaya, yung approach mo sa isa mabait, yung approach mo sa isa medyo masungit ka, it could change it. It could change the approach and those actions could be taken against you. So yun lang kinaka-worry ko dyan.
Ako, I would suggest na habaan yung pasensya. Kasi you have to understand that you're giving the employee something na hindi positive.
Yes.
It's very rare for employees to see notice to explain or notice of decision in a positive light. Napaka-rare. Okay? So you have to understand that part. And you have to accept that part that there will be some resistance.
Exactly.
But you also have to understand, tulad nga ng sabi ni Sir G, that you also have to protect the company. You have to make sure that it isn't taken against you. So there's no other way to go about it than to sit down with the employee, habaan ng pasensya, and explain clearly everything para naiintindihan din niya where you are coming from, and at the same time maiintindihan mo rin where he is coming from. Kasi pag hindi niya naintindihan kung para saan niya NTE, dyan kayo magkakaroon ng problema.
Tsaka give them time to absorb it. Kasi syempre sa una, reactive yan for sure. And you don't like the reaction.
Oo. Magiging reactive yan. Di ba, wala namang natuwa na, uy, may NTE ako. Wala namang pumalakpak, di ba? Lahat yan bakit? Ba't ako nagka-NTE? Anong ginawa ko? Lahat yan, may kagad, may resistance. So you need to accept that fact. And kailangan, dahil ikaw yung mas nakakaintindi, habaan ng pasensya. HR tayo, so it comes with the territory eh. So kailangan talagang natin, tsagain natin na i-explain doon sa tao.
Oh, yeah, tsaga.
Sabi po ni Sir Fernando, what are comments about job opportunities of men and women employees not being equal up to now? There are more job opportunities for men than women, and salaries of male employees are more than women. How do we change this practice? That there's still inequality between genders. And how do you address this change? What are your thoughts?
Alam mo, it's a nature problem, to be honest. It's a nature problem for me because remember, before ka mag-hire, hindi naman siya basta mag-hire ka lang right? You need to create a job description first. When you create a job description, you need to analyze if the job is really for men or for women. Pag
Mm.
in-analyze mo yung job, you need also to consider that are you violating any human rights? Halimbawa, pag nag-hire ka ng babae, let's say physicality wise, is it compliant when it comes to women's rights? Will it be compliant to other rights? So yun yung mga bagay na i-consider mo. Then pag nagawa mo na yun, dun ka palang gagawa ng analysis mo on how much based on different perspective like competition, workload, etc., bago ka mag-hire. Because sometimes talaga nagkakaroon ng discrimination because the job title itself mechanic. Diba? So you convert the word mechanic, gawin mo siyang engine expert or gawin mo siyang let's say automotive specialist. But therefore the term now is broad, then dun mo siya specify so that it would be open to both parties, to both genders rather. Then that would address inequality. Sometimes kasi nagkakaroon kasi ng sometimes kasi you create job based on gender. But no, baliktad eh. 'Di ba? You
Mm.
create your job, then identify ano ba yung needs mo. Tsaka mo siya i-weigh in. Hindi yung
Mm.
okay, let's hire male. Tapos bahala na from there since male naman siya. No, baliktad.
And then we also have to ano, as HR then, we also have to play an active role in ensuring na wala talagang discrimination. Kasi if
Mm.
tayo mismo, we have our biases, we have our discrimination against certain genders, against certain sexes, na magkakaroon din ng problem.
Exactly.
Ipe-perpetuate lang natin kung ano man yung current na practice na may mga pay gaps between genders. So 'di ba, dapat tayo din mismo we are very aware and conscious dun sa mga possible na mga inequalities na yoon. Pero I think here in the Philippines hindi siya gano'n katindi. I'm not so sure. I don't have the numbers, but I don't think it's as 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 severe as it is in let's say in the US. I think hindi naman ano, hindi gano'n katindi sa atin.
Oo,
I am not.
exactly. May bus driver nga tayong babae.
Question, yung ibang companies ayaw mag-hire ng babae lalo na may asawa kasi di makapag-extend ng extra time at nanganganak at nagli-leave. Bakit po kaya ganun? Ayaw nila ng may asawa, gusto nila single.
Dating siguro yung office nila ngayon. Hindi, ano yan? Yan ang bias. Yan
Yan
yung
ang
bias.
bias. Oo, yan ang bias. Kung sino man yung HR dyan, dapat nagtitake siya ng ano, ng active role in
Oo.
making the management understand that that's not correct.
Yeah,
'Di
yun
ba?
na yung
Kasi
bias.
ano eh, minsan tayo din eh, maano tayo sa kasi sabi nung boss ko eh, when we give in to dahil sabi ng boss ko, 'di ba nawawalan ng power yung HR, eh, dapat tayo yung safeguard ng mga ganyan eh. We are supposed to do compliance. If tayo din ina-allow natin yan by saying na, eh, kasi yun yung sabi ng boss ko, 'di ba? We
So,
lose the power to fight for what is correct.
for me,
Yan.
balance yan eh. Balance yung need eh. Kasi nga, may management eh. Siyempre, the management's the owner eh.
Mm.
Kung babalance mo siya, para hindi
Babalance
naman
yun. Oo.
harsh.
Oo. I-explain niyo din, explain niyo kung ano ba ano yung advantages and disadvantages ng 'pag let's say you discriminate against a certain sex or certain gender. I-aano niyo, i-explain niyo. But at the end of the day, we have to make them realize. Diyan papasok ang inyong powers of influence. Kung paano niyo ipapa-realize sa top management kung ano ba yung dapat na practice, ano yung acceptable.
Yeah, agree.
Ayan. Okay, meron pa po ba tayong ibang question? May pinapasabi po si Miss Sharon, Sir Jean, wala ka pa rin kakupas-kupas sa pagsagot ng tanong. Miss your face-to-face trainings. May mga fans po. Si Sir Jean right now na nasa comment section po
Sharon,
natin.
mamaya na tayo mag-usap.
Oo, ayan po. Meron pa po ba eto, sabi ni Miss Irma Nimo, good evening, benefits are a problem in government organizations because they are specific. We cannot give more than what is given by CSC or DBM. How do we go about it po?
Yan yung isang concern na sometimes it needs communication sa ibang department. Kasi involved yung ano dyan eh, lalo na sa government, involved si budget, inform si Civil Service Commission. So for you
Oo.
to, so medyo complicated siya. Parang siguro sa pandemic, 'di ba? May IATF. If you want to implement health dadaan pa kay DOH, dadaan pa kay LGU, dadaan pa kay kung kani-kanino. So yun, top management, kailangan address muna yung concerns about it because it will not be communicated pababa if hindi siya properly coordinated. Lalo na, alam ko kailangan ng resolution dito eh. Resolution or RA para ma-adjust to ng maayos.
Oo.
Yes.
Okay, sabi po ni Facebook user, hindi ko po alam. Si Jackie Aviado. Sabi ni Miss Jackie Aviado, how to approach a boss when it comes to salary increases of an employee, lalo na kapag ang boss is not open about it.
Question, may budget ba?
Yun ang unang tanong, may budget ba?
May budget ba? Kasi kahit anong increase mo dyan, wala akong ibibigay dyan. Ayan, una may budget ba? Kapag nakasanong na yon, babalik tayo sa question kanina, you need to justify why. And the justification entails data. Data entails research and output. If the employee is satisfactory, nangyari yon, pwede. May budget, pwede. Yung approach na lang, ito na yung magiging, dito papasok yung konting amor mo. Ito na yung influential skills mo kay boss. Kapag medyo strict, diretsuhin mo rin. Kapag medyo most likely strict si boss. So, si strict, kailangan mo, ito na yung influential side mo, ito na yung justification side mo. And sometimes ang worry lang ng boss dito, to be honest, is when you apply it to one, you will apply it to all.
Oo. Magsiset ng president eh.
Yes, oo. Kaya nga, yun na tanong ko kagad kung may budget. Kasi pag inangat mo yung isa, aangat mo lahat yan. Pag in-appraise mo yung isa, i-appraise mo lahat yan. Kasi, or else, maganda nga yung ano mo sa taas, yung impression mo, sa baba naman hindi. Kasi ba't si HR promote itong staff na to or someone? So yun. Yaw.
So, ang masasabi ko kay Miss Jackie, understand also where your boss is coming from. Kasi medyo incomplete eh. Sabi lang niya, the boss is not open about it. In the first place, bakit hindi open? So yun nga, sinabi ni Sir Jean kanina, baka may concern siya about the budget. Baka may concern siya na magsiset ka ng president. So, check niyo muna, bakit ayaw ng boss mo? Okay? Para mas maintindihan mo kung bakit siya hindi open doon sa increase. Ayan.
Yes.
Sabi po ni Sir Fernando Bellarmino, Sir Jean, pwede ka po ba ma-invite mag-talk sa school sa amin?
7:30, sir. Pwede. 7:30 ngayon na pala kagad.
Ang bilis eh, ang bilis ka usap na.
7:30 po. Free na ako. Di-dinner lang ako saglit.
Okay.
Go, sir.
Pero
Go lang.
pwede po, email niyo lang po siya or punta po kayo doon sa LinkedIn page po niya. Pwede niyo po siyang i-message po doon. Sir, follow-up question lang po. Mahal po ba mag-avail ng system or program sa payroll? Ano po ba ang pros and cons doon?
Oo, mahal yan.
Oo, actually, depende kasi kung sino yung service provider na kukunin niyo. At saka kung yung system niyo is payroll lang ba, may kasama ba siyang attendance management or full suite na HRIS siya. So magdedepende po yan doon. Merong mga mura lang po. At saka per head, gaano karami. So magdedepende po siya doon. Meron kayong makukuha ng mga payroll systems na mura, pero dapat konti lang yung head count. Meron kayong makukuha na super mahal kasi buong system na siya talaga kasama na pati performance management. So magdedepende po sa kung ano po yung
Ma'am Rona, sa'yo na yan.
Bakit po karamihan ng mga HR image masungit, mahirap lapitan, at ang dating makapangyarihan sila? Old style po ba ito? Mga power tripping daw na HR.
Oy, di ako kasama dyan. Kita niyo naman.
May mga, hindi natin maaalis yun na meron talagang mga tao, regardless if it's in HR, accounting, may mga tao na once they have power, they have a certain authority, level of authority, nagiging masungit sila. Okay? Kasi it's either they want to protect their position, their integrity, so they come off as masungit or snobbish kasi ayaw lang nila na maipit sila, mapahamak sila. So they can be quite straightforward and they can be quite harsh pag nakikipag-usap. But there are also people na, aminin na natin, hindi naman nawawala yun. May mga tao talaga na yung power nila or authority nila umaakit sa utak. May mga ganun. And I've come across people like that na nung naging manager, naging supervisor, biglang nag-iba. Biglang naging mataray, biglang naging demanding, biglang naging mapangmata, mapangmaliit, may mga gano'n. Okay? It's
Oh,
not, 'di ba? I don't think it's an old style or a new style because I've worked with HR professionals who've been in the industry for quite a long time pero hindi sila mataray, hindi sila masungit. They can be quite approachable pa nga kasi they understand that HR people has to be approachable. And I've also come across people na bago pa lang sa HR department pero ang sungit na. May mga iba na alam mo 'yun, yung para bang COE na nga lang pahihirapan ka pa. May mga gano'n. It
yes.
has nothing to do, 'di ba? It has nothing to do with dahil nasa HR sila or dahil sa old style or millennial sila. It has nothing to do with that. It's more on the personality of that individual. Kaya gano'n.
Try
Not
mo yung
necessarily
accounting. Try mo yung accounting.
mga accounting na ano na lalo na kasi alam mo yon kasi ang hawak nila is pera, 'di ba?
Oo.
Pagdating sa pera, 'pag hihingi ka ng budget para kang ini-interrogate, para bang Diyos ko po patayin talaga. So may mga gano'n kasi they need to be careful then with their position, 'di ba? May mga
Yes.
gano'n. Kaya nga 'di ba
Mm.
tayo sasabihin natin, "Di mo naman pera 'yun, eh." Ang higpit-higpit. We have to understand that kasi 'pag nagkaproblema sa finances, sila din yung malalagot. That's why they are very careful, 'di ba?
I agree. I agree. Yeah. So wala yan sa tao. Wala yan sa position, nasa tao lang talaga yan.
Oo, okey. Meron pa po ba tayong mga hahabol na questions bago ko po ilabas ang ating third code for the day? Meron pa po ba? Or masyado kayong nag-enjoy sa mga kwento po ni Sir Jean? Mukhang wala na pong hahabol na questions. Kung wala na pong hahabol na questions, guys, eto na po ang ating third code for the day. Ayan po, naka-display na po. Kung na-miss niyo po yung first at second code, mamaya po pwede niyo pong i-review yung video natin ngayon, recording natin ngayon sa aming YouTube channel para mahabol niyo po yung first code at yung second code po. If you would like to request for the copy of the slides, copy of the video, copy of your certificate of attendance, scan lang po itong code na to or head to the link. Mamaya po ipopost po namin sa events page yung link para makapunta po kayo doon at makapag-request po kayo. Tandaan po, kailangan tama yung tatlong codes at masagot niyo po yung question na nakalagay po doon. Ang question po doon ay nakabase po doon sa presentation na ginawa ni Sir Jean. Actually, yung tanong doon is ilang taon na si Sir Jean?
Uy, mahirap yan.
Okay. Okay. So, yun po. So, dun lang po kayo, punta lang po kayo doon. Yan po. Sir Jean, maraming
Oh,
maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak sa amin this afternoon at maraming maraming salamat po for sharing your knowledge with us when it comes to remodeling HR. Napaka-timely po. Lalo na't papasok na ang 2021 at kailangan nating i-review ang ating mga processes dahil hindi pa natin sure kung ano mangyayari sa 2021. Kung matatapos na nga ba ang ating quarantine or GCQ pa rin tayo by January, first quarter
hindi,
of
okay
next
lang yan. Actually, kahit walang GCQ, kahit walang ECQ, kahit walang pandemya, everything should, kumbaga, keep on innovating kasi nagbabago ang time eh.
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay.
Agree. Keep on innovating. Napakagandang linya po yan. Any final words po, Sir Jean?
Ayan, so first and foremost, thank you for attending this program and I hope you enjoyed, actually more than learn. Kasi actually when you enjoy learning, learning is something, enjoying is another one. Pero pag pinagsama mo yung dalawang yon, it would make your program more effective, 'di ba?
Yes.
So yeah, so ayan, thank you Aprush for inviting me. Thank you HR people who are here. You remodel it not because you need it, but not because you want it, but because you need it, and your employee does need it as well. And sa shout out lang ako, okay lang ba, Miss
Sige lang po.
Rona? Ayan na. Nanonood yung girlfriend ko ngayon, Angie. Hello. Then mom
Ah,
ko, birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. I love you both.
nice!
Of course.
Ay!
Yeah.
Ayan po.
Just watching,
Ayan.
by the way.
Talaga, okay. Sha-shoutout din po ako. Hi po do'n sa aming aso. Ay, baby.
Asan ba siya? Baka pwede yung panoorin.
Anyways po, maraming maraming salamat po lahat. Sana po ay nag-enjoy po kayo at natuto na naman ngayong afternoon po ito. We will see you again next week. Next week po medyo mabigat po ang topic natin kasi next week po ang topic po natin is about labor relations. And because of the seriousness of the topic, we would like to limit it to HR professionals only. At may meron po kami pag-eksperimentuhan next week. So watch out po do sa announcement po sa page namin kung paano po kayo makaka-secure ng slot kasi hindi po namin siya i-open to everyone yung pong pag-attend. Okay, pwede niyo pong panoorin yung video, but only those who would be part of the first 100, sila lang po yung po pwedeng mag-raise ng questions, makipag-interact sa speaker, at makahingi po ng certificate. So once na-i-up po namin yung registration page, sugod na po at register po kayo dahil up to 100 attendees lang po ang i-allow po namin for next week. Ayan po. Yung HR professionals po, if you would want to be updated on the latest labor advisories and labor relations po, dapat po kayong umattend next Saturday. Ayan po. Again, Sir Jean, thank you so much po, and we hope to invite you again in the future na maging part po ulit ng amin pong free webinar. Thank you so much po, Sir Jean, and thank you everyone who stayed with us hanggang sa dulo po ng ating webinar. See you again all next Saturday. Bye everyone!